Jammer,
Good afternoon.
Triggertje hoor.
Misschien moet je gewoon even door
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Welcome here in the press room of the Academy. We're going to look forward on the next Sunday against NEC. And we do that with our trainer, so we'd like to start with a question. Start over here.
Hi, Francesco. Is Pasha able to play on Sunday?
Yeah, he's fully recovered.
And he will play.
Let's see.
It was an incredibly long season, but now it's almost over, the three matches in 8 days. How do you feel and how do you look back?
But it's not yet the time to really make a full evaluation. It's true that it was almost 1 year ago when we were in this room, exactly in this room when our journey started. So, as you say, the long season, many matches, many emotions, a long run. But I think it's too early to make, of course, final evaluations.
Short question. Yeah, what have you focused on in particular during training since the game against Sparta?
Yeah, we use these 2 weeks with different inputs because, of course, the fact of not playing somehow wasn't easy to manage in the way that it's normal that it's a quite a strange scenario, especially when you are so close. So we try to split these 2 weeks like in 3 moments. One, to have a tactical block of work, the central part that was more physically related, so to simulate the stimulus of the game, and yeah, the last days again in the game preparation.
How's the fitness of the squad?
Yeah, it's okay. Unfortunately, in these 2 weeks we had a couple of problems. One is Edvardsen that he got a knee injury, so the season unfortunately is over for him. Nothing major, but not able to recover before the end of the season. And Broby that yesterday had 2 days ago he had that ankle, he twisted the ankle, and today he was individual training, and we will try to recover him for the game of Sunday. And of course, yeah, for the others like Bas and Van de Bomen still, out.
End of the season for both?
For yes, for Yuri and for Branko, yes.
Okay, what impression does Pascal make on you?
Yeah, he's doing well. So the progression has been positive. That's why he came already back with the team in the last matches, and these 2 weeks helps definitely to get closer to the rhythm, to test a bit more his adductor and nothing. So I think it was a really positive period of work.
Is it difficult to let him start without rhythm?
Sorry, it's difficult.
Is it difficult to let him start without rhythm?
But for everybody, for all the position and all the players, there are always, let's say, difficulties when you come back from an injury. In this case, again, I didn't decide yet, but I think he's putting himself in a position that he could pick. But as well, also, I have to consider what Matteus has given for the team.
Okay, another question, Francesco. You don't want to talk about the T word, but in the background, of course, the club is preparing some stuff because you might be the champion on Sunday. Is it difficult to deal with that?
But so as it's normal, like we are getting closer and closer to the end of the season, so it's normal that the club has to have all the protocols ready. Like it's quite similar to what we try to do as a coach, is always to be prepared for different possible scenarios, and of course all of us, we have certain wishes. So I think the club is doing what they have to do. From us internally, we are still in a fight because we are almost there but not there yet with the Champions League, the direct qualification. So there are things that needs to be done, and there's always no too many calculation, and just focus with NEC and the game that we are going to play.
Yeah, because before you, there's another important game, final against PSV. How will you deal with that, and what will you say about it against
No, but also this part, like we are human, and like I think it's quite normal how to say to get, like, everybody knows which games are going to be played in the next weekend. Of course, ideally you will love to have the possibility to be in a bubble, but also this one is impossible because it's clearly in the stadium and everywhere. The other games are going to be put it over there. After is just how we can prepare ourselves in the best, and I think it's normal, like in all the other games, like when you go to the stadium and when you enter into the changing room, you have two options. One is to watch the screen, and the other one is to prepare yourself in the best way possible for the game that you are going to play in few minutes. And I think this is what we decided, what the player decided, and this is how we are going to approach it. Thank you.
Francesco, you've conceded a bit more chances and goals in the last weeks than before. Do you see a lack of communication as one of the reasons?
No, but if you take, for example, the game against Utrecht, that it cost to us 4 goals. The, let's say, expected goal were really low, but even though we conceded 4 goals, and last day against Sparta, we conceded a couple of situations in the first half coming from couple of big mistakes that we did, and of course with this one you cannot really cope and deal with. You can just solve it individually, as Mateus did really good with 2 important saves. So in this part, I think we just have to keep going, keep doing the things that we have to do, of course, with an extra attention, because as always, the fact of reducing the chances that you concede to the opponent is an important factor. And going back to the previous game against NEC, it was the game where we conceded most in terms of shots conceded, in terms of expected goals. So we have to be definitely well prepared for this type of match.
Looking back, what was the biggest problem for you that match?
But many different things. We struggled a bit in the build up. We didn't really, and in the moment where we had the opportunity to go through and to attack with a possible advantage, our decision making was not at the level that was required. And yeah, after we had the 2 goals, maybe where the came out of the 2 action with less, let's say, quality into the full in the full picture, but we miss many others, and they did a good job in the way that they hurt us in sometimes in counterattack, sometimes in situation of open play, and yeah, it was definitely a really tough match.
One of the biggest challenges this Sunday will probably be keeping the peace mentally. Is that an extra consideration for you to start with more experienced players?
But there are all, for sure, like the mental part is always a key, but in the last matches even more. I think in this part, I think the most important part is to try to keep aside, and after, of course, is always a challenge, but to keep in aside the emotions and to try to be as much stable as possible, because at the end the game, if you try to isolate the game from the context, it's just a match more, of course, difficult, because we already discussed about this, but we have to approach without any type of rush, without any type of anxiety, and without any type of extra feeling that is not really going to help us. And in this one, of course, will play an important role also the stadium, that I'm sure he will be with us in the way of pushing the team from the first minute with a positive attitude, as it was from the Hep side since the first minute in the game against Sparta. And this is what we will need, like to have the European night atmosphere into the stadium from minute 1 till the end.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Francesco, hello. Do you think the league will be decided this weekend, and do you feel pressure?
But so what will happen? Unfortunately I really don't know. What I know that we are not in control of all the things, because of course there are other matches that are going to be played, and in the game that we are going to play there is a tough opponent. So the only part where we are really in control is how we will prepare ourselves for the game, and I think this is where we need to spend really all the energies.
Yeah. Will Wouter start? Did you have a plan before? the injury of...
Yeah, it's a possibility. As always, Wout is a player that is always well prepared, and yeah, it's definitely a possibility.
Yeah. Are Alex Cruz and you already working on the squad for next season?
We are talking like always, but now the focus is in the current season and to finish in the best way possible.
But that you are talking, does that mean that you will stay for sure, or did you make a decision?
But it's not really like a topic of today, because now, yeah, the mind and the attention is to be here. I have my let's say wishes and my desire, and are really clear, and people that needs to know knows. But the focus is absolutely here in what we have to do in the next week.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Christian.
Francesco, what did you miss most in Vosvia not being able to play in the past weeks?
Of course, Remco is a player that helped us a lot during the full season with his saves, with his contribution in the aerial play, with the decision making with the ball, with his presence and his coaching. So these are the characteristics that made me decide for him at the beginning of the season. And of course, in the moment that he wasn't there, it was an important loss for the team, but I believe that the contribution of Mateus in many different games, of course, like starting from PSV, Go Ahead, etc., has been a really important one, and he definitely helped us to be where we are.
Do the goalkeepers already know who will be in goal on Sunday?
No.
They don't?
No.
Do the strikers already know who will be on the pitch on Sunday? Because I assume you've evaluated the recent weeks and the performances of both Weghorst and Brobbey. What have you taken away from that?
I think I know in this part let's evaluate the last game. No, that I think it was the one that goes in the direction of your question. So the impact that Wout brought into the team, etc. So this is something that we know, and this is something that is a card that we played quite a lot during the season. I always gave a lot of value to the work of Brian. This season probably wasn't his luckiest season in terms of goal conversion, but I think the contribution that he gave to the team has been really important. And at the end, we are lucky to have two strikers of this level. It's not the case that they are two of the strikers of the national team. I think the combination of both of them lead us to where we are. And not only them, but also them. Definitely they played an important role in this journey.
Does the physical problem of Brian influence who will be on the pitch on Sunday?
It will depend, of course, if tomorrow Brian is going to be part of the team or not. Today was with the physio, so we will see tomorrow morning how he will react.
It was a trick question, okay, I admit it. One more question, the final.
And that was the answer.
No, you're too intelligent. The final question, if Feyenoord don't win, you are short of second place and Champions League group phase. Is that the dream result for Feyenoord PSV, for Feyenoord not to win?
But again, I think we can also watch in the other side that if we do our job, we will get what we want, and I think it's definitely what we should aim for, and that's why we should not spend too much energies in what is happening in Rotterdam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Martin.
Francesco, of course I know you like to observe your players a lot. As a coach you always do this. What do you see right now if you talk about this final stage of the season?
I saw a group that came back after Sparta that, as you can imagine, it was a very emotional game because, for between post and crossbar, 8 if we put also the game of Utrecht. So definitely this one was a topic. The amount of chances that we create in Sparta, going 1-0 down minute 96 and making the draw minute 97. So a lot of emotion in that game. That's for sure. So, and the difficult part or the big challenge, it was to start the week again with the proper attitude and with the proper determination about what is the next. So without looking back too much. And I think think these 2 weeks, also the fact of the change of calendar and the fact that we didn't play this weekend was, let's say, an extra complication. But how the players manage these 15 days of work, to be fair, has been brilliant in terms of dedication, commitment, professionalism, how much they push, how much they wanted to prove that we really want to be prepared for the last 3 matches, and of course starting with the game of NEC.
Did you also see joy, having fun on the job?
It was a really good week also from this part. So as I said, everything goes together. I believe that when you bring intensity into the training session, the joy and the excitement for playing football is quite related one to each other. I don't believe exactly in the opposite way, that the fun, because sometimes we want to play funny things, that became something that is exactly the opposite. So we always believe that the professionalism and to approach seriously what we do and to reach a certain level of intensity helps everybody to feel good and to have positive vibes.
Of course, as a coach, I think you want to stick to the normal procedures, to do things as normal as possible. Are there other things what you can do as a coach to keep away this idea of the championship and being 4 points ahead and
No,
things
but
like pressure?
we have to play the game. This is the most important part. Like there is honestly nothing more important than what is going to happen at 4:45 in the arena, and this is the part where we can have an impact, and this is where we have to be with the best version of ourselves.
Yeah, I don't know if there is an answer to the question of the idea of having to play these games and the idea that is behind it, that you're 4 points ahead and
Yeah, but
you should kill the job.
this is exactly what I say, that if you start to think if, in the moment that you start to consider all the possible scenarios, maybe we are already at the end of the first half. So let's be focused about the 90 minutes, starting from a proper warm-up, a proper game preparation, a proper speech before the game. I have to decide who is going to take it. And after to go on the pitch, delivering what we have to deliver.
Last question. You like to reflect on yourself as well, I think, as a philosopher. For you, this is new as well, being in this situation.
Yeah, it's.
So what do you experience within yourself right now?
No, my way of thinking, and this is again is my way. So it's not. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but it's just to keep doing the things as we always did since the beginning of the season. Nothing is more important than the next step, and the next step is NEC. I already mentioned the difficulties that we had in the first leg and how we have to be well prepared for this type of match. And after, everything that is around and the context is something that we cannot avoid to consider, because this will be somehow underestimating the reality. But I think in a day full of emotions, we have to be really stable in our way of approaching the things, because this is the only way to really go through.
Night rest is still okay?
Yeah, really good. If you want to check my whoop, is fantastic. The rest, the recovery, and also the stress level, at least so far.
One more question about that pressure on yourself. You say we do the things by day, but how is the pressure on you? Because it has to be for a coach who didn't win championships. It has to be the same pressure as for a player who experienced it for the first time.
But again, so I think for me the main pressure, it was to bring back Ajax to the Champions League. So somehow a big part of this pressure is gone. As I said a few weeks ago, the fact that at least for 2 matches we are going to listen the Champions League music in the arena is already a really important achievement. I always mention that me personally, I don't want to forget 1 year ago when we were here, from where we were coming from, what happened during all the season and what these guys did to bring Ajax back to the Champions League. So one more time, I know that could be a bit boring to listen, but it's really one step after the other. And yeah, and for me, like the main part of pressure is gone, and now what is ahead is to try to enjoy as much as possible.
Yeah, but you were 9 points behind PSV, then you were 9 points in front of PSV. And when you lose that 9 points, then everybody would say, although you won the Champions League place, everybody says.
Yeah, but
strange
so
that
to be where we are, we did the second leg, winning all the matches, 1 draw and one game lost. So like the rhythm that we kept to be where we are, it's something that is unique. Like in any other league, you were going already to be really relaxed and with everything done. So at the end, like as I said many times, it's like what these guys did looks really ordinary, because at some point it was normal to go away and win, go at home and win. The reality that in football sometimes you drop points, and yeah, the evaluation of the second leg of the season I think has been really positive, and we have to keep climbing, because of course we have our ambition, we have our desires, we have our dreams, but we cannot really look at the table with extra, how to say, stress or extra anxiety. It's just to do the best that we can, and you know, in mathematics I'm really bad, so no calculation, and let's go forward.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yes. There are no more questions. Thank you all for being here. And
See you on Sunday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sunday.
Ah, sure.